Hi everyone, welcome to Words with Wista. Welcome to my not so personal diary where I talk pop culture, politics, internet chaos, and whatever is living rent free in my head. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's serious. Either way, you're hearing my thoughts out loud. If you are a new listener, welcome. If you're a part of the Wista Gang, part of the Wista Crew, part of the Wista Posse, or you call yourself a Wista Warrior, girl, I don't fight, so I don't call myself a warrior. But I missed you guys. Oh my God. I missed you so much. You guys, I know. We are finally delving into the 200s era. But this is what, episode 201? I know I dropped episode 200 back in like the last day of February. I know a lot has happened. Please bear with me. Please bear with me, actually, because you guys know when it comes to the show, it is just me. I am my only team. So if I take a 3 weeks off break, it's because guess what? Y'all had 200 episodes. You could have caught up. I gave you guys enough time to catch up. And now we have a lot of content to talk about, but not only when it comes to politics, but just overall. We have to cover so many things. And I know I had mentioned the fact that yeah, we're gonna do 2 episodes a week. Sometimes we'll do 2 episodes a week. Sometimes it'll be once a week. It really depends on my schedule too. Just so you guys know, it is a one-woman show. So please bear with me because I had a lot of you guys saying, "Hey, where's the episode? Where's the episode? Where's the episode?" I said, "Y'all are gonna get the episode. Let me get some rest first. Let me recharge and get it together." Because I feel like a lot of people don't realize. And I was having this conversation with someone. When you are in a phase where, okay, you have your passion project, you still have to work on that, but then also you have to work on other things, making sure things go good. Sometimes there are days I wanted to record and I just couldn't because something shifted in my schedule or something happened where I had to go focus on this for a quick second before I come back and recruit back. But I'm happy it happened because now you get energized me. I think that's the most important thing. But we are back. We're getting it together. I just want to say this too. Happy astrological new year. Yes. Happy astrological new year. Do you not realize how good the energy feels? I feel like for me, the month of February and a little bit of March is always like weird, wonky months for me just because it's always weird. Those months are always weird. That's Pisces energy and Aquarius energy. It's just weirdo times for me. So still, happy astrological new year. We are in the spring equinox. We're about to hit springtime, and then soon will be summertime, and then soon it'll be winter, and then soon will be 2027. So all I'm going to say is what we are in the third month of the year. Think about everything you've done within the past few weeks and how can you change that for quarter two. That's how you got to think about it. I believe in you, and I know we're all going to do amazing things. I can say for sure, and I tell people this, is that everything is going to happen. It's all about the timing. Just don't judge timing. Don't let anything get to your head because I'm telling you, everything will come together. And that's the most important thing. And that is something I can say for sure. If I have 201 episodes of this show, that just goes to show you don't give up on yourself, okay? Got you. Because I know somebody's probably going to give up on something that they're passionate about. And I'm telling you, don't give up on it because you just never know when something will come and happen at the timing that you just don't expect it to happen. That's all. That's all I got to say. Life update. Yeah, life is life. I needed a break and I'm glad I took that break. I was able to really like pay attention to what's going on in the news and really gather my thoughts because you guys, I got to say this. And one of the Wista Gang members, she spilled me some tea. We are in a war at Iran, but some of y'all are paying 8K to get a man. Oh no, honey. Some of y'all are paying 8K to get a man. Ooh. Jesus. Oh my God, bon Dieu. Oh my gosh. You paying $8,000 to get a man, to get some peen? That's the easiest thing to get. What? Okay, we're going to talk about that $8,000 thing in the later half of the episode. So if you want to hear that, you either better be fast forwarding because girl, you're gonna get roasted. I'm sorry, and I've heard too much about you, lady, and I don't like you because you said some disrespectful thing to a Wista Gang member, and I don't mess about that, and I don't play about the Wista Gang. Now let's talk about these politics. Okay, let's get onto the spiel. We come from many different places. We come from many different races. We come from many different ethnicities. We come from many social, economic backgrounds. We come from many different educational backgrounds. But what brings us together? Politics and the economy. Let's talk about what the Trump administration is fucking up this week. Okay. So from the time that we had put out the episode, obviously there's a lot that happened, right? On February 28th, the US and Israel decided to team up and throw some bombs at Iran. Iran said, okay, we're going to retaliate and throw a bomb back at your allies in the Middle East, like Dubai and also many other countries, as also Qatar and any other Middle Eastern country around those neighboring areas, or also targeting U.S. embassies or U.S. entities in the Middle East. So I guess, again, they dropped another bomb. And guess what? The leader of Iran passed away, right? Yeah. And they said, okay, you done pew-pewed and boom-boomed our president. Now we got to come back and retaliate, and it's a war. First things first is that when I'm thinking about it, and a lot of people are like, oh my God, we're in war again. The previous wars that America has had with the Middle East, we've never won them. We've always left. There was never a win. Yes. Dictators and leaders within the Middle East have passed away. I guess, like, yeah, we can say that a win. Yes, we have unalived those folks, but then it's like, girl, what have we gotten out of it? Because yes, those leaders passed away, but think about all the soldiers who passed away. Like, think about the missile that they just launched in the Middle East to some of those U.S. embassies and entities, and think about all those soldiers that already passed away and how we're watching that right now. The thing is, Donald Trump is doing all these things without even the permission of Congress. Why are you guys not meeting to go have these conversations? Like, JD Vance has been silent about it, but recently he's been talking about it. You got Tulsi Gabbard, and she's saying that, oh, Iran was an imminent threat. But then your colleague, who is also at the same level with you, actually resigned and put out his letter and said that Iran was not an imminent threat. So what is making sense? Are you guys just trying to go and take over the whole freaking world? Which is not going to happen, because guess what? These countries are not afraid of this administration. They're not afraid. Do you not see what Iran is doing? Iran is ready throwing missiles all over the fucking place. And then you have people in California worried as hell because they're hearing that, oh my gosh, we might be a target in Homeland, right? Think about that. And you have other countries minding their business. They're like, oh, this has nothing to do with me. The UK, which is one of our biggest allies, the UK, okay, Big Ben, Selfridges, Harrods, Nando's, the Queen, bitch, King Charles. They said, we're stepping back. This ain't had nothing to do with us. You don't hear anything from Emmanuel Macron. The Eiffel Tower, bitch. They sent us the freaking Statue of Liberty. They are not saying anything. They said, this is not our battle. This is not our fight. We're minding our business. I know people who were in Dubai when they shot those missiles, although they were living their lives like, yeah. But I was like, girl, y'all are taking pictures and everything, but people are literally just living their lives in the city that you live in. Okay. A little out of touch, but I hope you get home safely. I really do. But still, we are in a literal war. Well, all I'm going to say is, when it comes to this war, this is the administration and everybody who voted for that man's war. I keep hearing conversations about a draft. If they pull up at my door, I will poke out my tummy and say I'm carrying. I will poke out my tummy and say I got twins in my belly. Sorry, can't go. Hell no. And the people who I feel bad for are like the people who didn't vote for him and that like are in the military or in the armed forces and might have to like actually go to war. I feel bad for them. That's what I feel bad for. But it's the fact that this man really got on a press conference and said, yeah, people's lives are going to be taken away. Imagine the people who voted for him and they're thinking like, dang, their son or their daughter or their child, period, is going to have to go to war to fight just because this man decides to be a dumbass and thinks that he can take over the Middle East. And then even in addition for the fact that he wants to take over their oil reservoir and everything like that, it's like, sir, make it make sense. And not even with that too. And I do want to bring up the aspect of Cuba and how now he's even trying to take over Cuba. Okay, Cubans for Trump. How y'all feel about that now? How y'all feel about that? I want to know that. How you guys feel about that? And it's the fact that we know there's an electricity problem within Cuba. So now they don't have any electricity. Now you're hearing the fact that they're blocking oil from even coming to Cuba. So it's like to the point where people who have gas are stocking and stockpiling on gas. Now, one thing I will say, although people do not have electricity, if you come from money in a Caribbean island, or if you have the resources, for example, in Haiti, yes, people might lose electricity, but you have a generator, what they would call a delco, right? A generator usually is what generates power into your house. It runs on what? Gasoline. For example, for the many properties that my parents have owned, they all have what? A generator, because a lot of people who rented out our apartments in our buildings were professionals like doctors or even lawyers. So we had the big generator, which took tons of gas, but it was a very big one. Keep your house powered for months, okay? Please, my dad does not play when it comes to the generator. But if those folks who are in Cuba that have a generator, they're fine for now just because they might have the resources to get power in their homes, right? But that's usually the 1% or the upper middle class of that country. So yes, there are still some Cubans that will have power, but we're talking about the everyday Cuban that doesn't necessarily come from wealth, right? Think about that. So now these people's resources are being taken away. They're starving. They're dealing with these things. And this man says he wants to take over Cuba. You think they're going to let him take over? You think this man, like, do y'all really think this is going to happen? I don't know what is going on with this freaking administration. It's just a hot mess. It's always been a hot mess. Once again, we have midterm elections coming in. We have midterms elections coming up soon. And really, I want to say this. You better go out and vote. Pay attention to everything that just happened within the 1 year this man has been in that office. And think about how it's affected your life and those around you and how it's going to affect your future. We are in a war that we did not ask for. Think about that. There are a lot of people I know who are now thinking of leaving America. So as much as I be talking shit about Canada, shoot, Montreal, Ottawa, it's looking pretty nice over there for me. Toronto, if I really want to keep it controller. Okay, let me not start singing. But Canada's looking a little bit better. Shoot, if I really want to take it back, I might be taking a flight to France. Macron, I might have to go take you a visit. I'm going to get my reparations from France regardless. But still, think about that, you guys. Think about that. We are in a war that we did not ask for. And think how that's messing with our economy already, right? Think about gas prices right now. For example, my car takes premium gas. Now, I'm about to spill my business a little bit, not too much. If you live in Rockland County and you drive on Route 59, like myself, I call myself a backroads princess. You will not find me on the Palisades Highway. No, somebody else got to drive me on that. I don't do that. The only time you'll find me on the Palisades is if it's like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and there's nobody on the road. Now, let's talk about the gas stations on Route 59. So let's specifically talk about the gas station where all the young folks be at. The one on Route 59, right across from Mavis Discount, where you got the freaking Dunkin' Donuts with a drive-thru, which they made that drive-thru so terrible, and you got all the young dudes and everybody else at that gas station. I go to that gas station, sometimes I need to be very fast with it because one thing for sure, with this car I got, people trying to talk to me, I'm like, hey, walk away, please get out my face. But for example, last week, I actually was filling up my tank, right? It was like how much? It was like $3.49. For my car to fill the whole, like to fill it up is $80. With the fact that these gas prices are going up, and somebody was telling me that now the gas is around like $4.16. I haven't gotten gas yet, but I'm going to see how much it's going to be. I will report back next episode and let you guys know how much the gas is. I'm pretty sure if I were to fill up my whole tank, it's probably going to be around like $115. Maybe $115, maybe $120. We'll see what happens. Somebody was like, oh, Wista, just get regular gas. No, I'm not messing up my engine. Nope, nope, nope. But that's something to factor in, right? So now we have to factor in oil prices, but then now we have to factor in gas prices. But then also let's factor in the fact that now the airline industry is going through it now, right? The airline industry, plane ticket prices are going up. Let's not forget, the Department of Homeland Security is currently going through a partial shutdown, right? Christy Noem got fired. Bye, bitch. But then this caca decides to hire Mark Wayne. Mark Wayne, hold on. Mark Wayne Mullins, who is a senator from Oklahoma, who is a failed MMA fighter, and he is a Trump loyalist. And it's the fact this man's name is Mark Wayne. I'm sorry. You guys love to talk about ethnic names, but it's the fact that this man's name is Mark Wayne. Imagine you're telling your friends, you talking about this guy you're talking to, and they're like, oh, what's his name? Mark Wayne. It's like your parents are like, oh, we like the name Mark, but then we also like the name Wayne. Let's just combine together and call him Mark Wayne. Yeah. I don't know what is the fascination of this administration with like folks who were in MMA or UFC. Because even in addition to that, I don't know if you guys know, but Kash Patel is also saying that like for FBI agents, he wants the UFC or MMA to train them. This is my conspiracy. I think what's going to happen, and let's not forget, I think this year is America's like what 200 something birthday, and they're supposed to have that big UFC fight at the White House. Don't be surprised if they have the FBI agents fighting in the ring. Don't be surprised at all. I would not be surprised. Let me just bring it back to my little rant about the whole airlines and just the Department of Homeland Security and their partial shutdown. So what does that mean when they have a partial shutdown, right? TSA, right? They're not going to get paid for it. We saw what happened when we had the government shutdown back in like October 2025. This is kind of like that resurgence, but it's even worse now, right? When you don't have TSA agents to check people, guess what? You are going to make long lines. And yes, they're currently having the interrogation with Mark Wayne Mullins to see if they even think he's even qualified for the job or if they'll even let him pass for that job. And what they're reporting are saying is if TSA is still shut down for, I don't know, like 2 weeks or something like that, because guess what? People got bills to pay. They're quitting their jobs and going to drive Uber or even stocking shelves at the grocery store or working retail just so they can pay their bills. And guess what? If these people are leaving this job, some airports are going to close. Some airports are going to close. You have airports like JFK and LaGuardia where they have lines back to back. And a lot of y'all like to make fun of me because I like to take the Westchester Airport. One thing for sure, Westchester makes sure those lines go by fast, but I'm not stepping in the Westchester Airport right now because guess what? TSA. And even though there are TSA agents that are still going in, yeah, they'll get their back pay, but when does that back pay, like when is that guaranteed? We don't know how long this shutdown is shutting down for. That's another thing. Yes, they're still guaranteed a check, but guess what? They still are going to have to show up. We don't know these people's transportation situation, right? Some of these people might have gas vehicles or even just have a vehicle in general that takes gas. And look at these gas prices. How are they going to get to their destination? We don't know people's financial situation. We don't know if they're living check to check. We don't know if they have a savings or not. You can't be judging these things, but still, we're going to see a lot of these situations happening. And it's the fact that we've had a shutdown almost every single quarter while this man has been in office. That is a problem. That is a problem right then and there. Once again, we are in a war that we did not ask for. Say that one more time. We are in a war that we did not ask for. Well, I'm not in the war. The Trump supporters, y'all in that war. But still, sadly, lives are going to be taken because of this man's decision. And the thing is, can he not be prosecuted for this? Because you did not even get the permission from Congress. Isn't it constitutionally in the law? Like, make it make sense. Honestly, I feel like this is all done just to distract us from those files, because now what's happening is they actually had open statements about the Epstein files, like closing statements, and they're actually going to be meeting again. And then Pam Bondi is going to be having another sit down regarding the files, but then also other situations regarding some of her tactics of what she's done. Honestly, I'm tired of this administration. I just want them all to go away. Can it be 2028 already? Can it be 2028 already? There is too much going on, and it's just a mind fuck overall. We are in a fucking simulation. You know, I just realized I just went through at least a good chunk of the politics like commentary and topics that I wanted to mention all at once. I do want to focus on the whole situation in Cuba. I think what we're going to start doing now, because you guys know we are an international show, okay? We are international. We are all over the world. We are cultured over here. We will be having some Caribbean news. Yes, some CARICOM news. If you don't know, here's some little lore about me. I actually did intern and worked with the United Nations, but then also a little bit of CARICOM. So when it comes to these Caribbean islands, I know a few things. I will not be discussing Haitian politics like that because I am too connected in that world. I need to speak to my advisors before I even talk about anything regarding Haitian politics, because I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, what's the talk about the whole like court case with Jovenel's wife?" Girl, Shelly, I mind my business with that. Okay, I mind my business with that. If you guys don't know, in like what throwback episodes back in my college days, we did have one of the Haitian president's sons on an episode. Like, he made a very sneak peek, because if you guys don't know, go listen to old episodes. The way I grew up and my political ties when it comes to that's a conversation for another time, okay? Any single time I think about like my life, I'm like, wow, I basically have so much lore. We can have like a 5-season TV show on like a network. It can't be HBO, because HBO is getting canceled for certain things, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But regarding Cuba, I really do think it's like, wow, we were all talking about the Cubans, we were all doing this, but then I'm thinking about the Cubans who are mainly going to be affected by this are going to be the Afro-Cubans, right? It always happens. It always happens, regardless of what sector of the diaspora. We are always the ones where it's like, dang, why us? Why you always gotta come for us? Why is it always something that has to affect us? But the thing is, when it comes to this, I'm not surprised that Trump is trying to do these things. He's just going after every country he feels like he can dominate just because he has those materials and everything. But you're stopping the oil from going there. You already put a pause on the Venezuelan oil. So you're trying to take all the oil money from all these countries to see if you can take it to the US, but really the money's going to go back into your pockets. We're not stupid, sir. We're not stupid. But one thing I can say when it comes to situations like this, you are just adding so much karmic debt to your bloodline. So much karmic debt to your bloodline, where it's just like, I don't even want to put anything out there, but just know, when you hear about that family in the next couple of years, you're not going to be surprised for a lot of things that happen, because think about how many people passed away in the hands of this administration. And then hearing that people lost their electricity, they're not getting oil or funds. It's to the point where you want to starve this country to see if you can take it over. Oh, if we starve them, if we get rid of their resources, oh, we'll be able to take it over. No, they're going to find a way to create those resources and not have to accept anything from you, because I feel like a lot of people tend to sleep on like these Caribbean islands and don't realize there's a lot of resources in those places. There's a lot of resources you don't know about that they have in those islands. I'm not going to discuss them, because guess what? You're going to have to drop a bag for me to even discuss. And I could talk about a lot of the resources they have in Haiti, but I'm not going to mention that. But one thing I say for sure is that's the real Wakanda. There's a lot of things in that island and some other islands where they have those mineral resources that they want to get so badly, and they're failing at it. And I sound like a conspiracy theorist, so I'm not going to keep delving in. But let's talk about Haiti for a second. Well, what they just recently announced is that basically anybody in the Haitian diaspora, if you have family members in Haiti or you are of Haitian descent, you can actually vote in the next election. That's what they're allegedly saying. Shelly, back on it, I don't know. I say Z about it. I don't know. Sac passe, not boule. All I can say is with the way the elections went down in America, I don't know if I could trust y'all when it comes to these elections in Haiti, Shirley. I don't know, Sweetly. Sweetly, baby, I don't know. I can't be trusting y'all. So I'm going to mind my business. But there's finally going to be an election happening in Haiti. We'll see what happens. But yeah, good luck. And just saying this because I am talking about Haiti. I don't know if you guys know the influencer Wo Vicky. I guess she's going through like a little Haitian phase. I don't know which Jean-Pierre, Jean-Baptiste, what else? Celestin, Davidson, Richardson, any of the sons, the Haitian sons. I don't know which one of y'all are giving Wo Vicky oti zozo, oti bois, oti banan. You giving her some zozo, some banan. Please, go do what you have to do, la gueule, so she can leave the culture alone. All I'm going to say is, well, Vicky, I know you want to go to Haiti. You know, that's your homeland. I just want to say, if you do decide to go to Haiti, here's my little advice. Here's a little tour guide. You're going to go to Pensionville, right? In Port-au-Prince. You're going to Pensionville, right? Go hang out with some of these people with the guns, right? And then you might meet this man named Barbecue. You have to meet Barbecue. Have a conversation with him. Barbecue can be your tour guide, okay? But you got to pay Barbecue so you can come back to the States. Just go meet Barbecue. He's a very nice guy. Meet Barbecue, okay? And tell me how that goes. You might have to like send us a WhatsApp message on video to just show us your face. But yeah, go meet Barbecue. Have fun, girl. Okay? Yeah. But all I can say is I don't know which Haitian man got her making Haitian spaghetti and then Haitian papaya juice. I don't like y'all for that. I don't. And there's some of you guys praising her like, yeah, Haitian culture. No. Once again, it's moments like this where I'm like, why are y'all literally tap dancing for Wo Vicky? I've seen her in person. When I was living in LA, she was in my apartment complex. Not impressed. Never will be. But it's the fact that some of you are like, oh yeah, we up here, we're getting our moment. This is not something to applaud. The moment I'll be happy is when we got Shamar dancing some compa music. That's when I'll be happy. But right now, disgraced, disturbed, disgusted. Girl, if you really want to go to Haiti, tell Barbecue we said hi. Now let's move on to the next topic. Now let's delve into all things media. I feel like obviously with media and politics, it goes hand in hand. And we know that the president is notorious for wanting to control media, with the fact that he is partnering with the Ellison brothers, and how the Ellison brothers already bought out Paramount, and now we're hearing that Paramount has bought, or like they're in the process of buying Warner Brothers, and how that is going to affect a lot of companies, specifically like CNN. Pete Hegseth has straight up said that, now that they're in the process of buying Warner Brothers, CNN is going to be so different. Don't be surprised when we hear so many times about people getting laid off. I know some people work at Warner Brothers. They're literally worried about what's going to happen to their jobs, which we allegedly heard about when they had layoffs at Paramount. A lot of people who were affected by the layoffs were Black and brown people. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, especially with the fact that Warner Brothers owns CNN. It owns Discovery, right? So Warner Brothers Discovery. So it owns the Discovery. So you have the Discovery Channel. You have my favorite channel, TLC, which everybody on 90 Day Fiancé, y'all not about to be getting them big checks no more. Y'all not about to be getting them big checks with them Ellison brothers. Y'all not about to get in those big checks. But even with that too, you have TLC. You have the History Channel. You have what else? National Geographic. A lot of those channels are owned by Discovery. Hello, Oprah's network, OWN. Don't be surprised if OWN backs out and says, I'm done. Another thing, when it comes to just even the Paramount sector, BET Plus is gone. It's shuttered. They got rid of it. And Tyler Perry even stepped off. So don't be surprised when we hear more about some of these networks going away. Another company that's owned by Discovery, Food Network. What are we going to do if we lose the Food Network, you guys? Because I like to watch Chopped before I go to bed. It helps me go to sleep. What are we going to do if we lose the Food Network, TLC, Discovery? What other, what's going to happen? Oh, wait, we might even lose HGTV. Well, I don't think this is the thing I think about HGTV. They're probably gonna get rid of all like the black hosts, because I think one of the girls in HGTV has said the N word, the hard ER. They're probably gonna bring her show back if this is the company buying out their stuff. Do not be surprised. But when it comes to CNN, don't be surprised if a lot of more journalists get laid off or they get fired, like the Anderson Coopers and everything like that. Don't be surprised if they venture off and go through like the tradition, like not the traditional, but the independent media route. This is that time. If you have an independent outlet, this is that time to really spew out what you got to say and what you need to do. But don't be surprised when we see a lot of the content from these places to turn a different way. Let's not forget, Warner owns HBO. A lot of people are starting to get rid of their HBO and HBO Max subscriptions because they're not comfortable with the corporation that's about to own them. We see that even when it comes to CBS News with Barry Weiss. We saw so many times how there were certain programs that were supposed to be shown on CBS News, and they just failed at how they were supposed to distribute it, or even the people that she's put on camera, and they can't even read the fucking teleprompter. So imagine how that's going to be like at CNN. Yeah. And CNN has already been going through like a major shift with the previous CEO. So if they were to have her control it, girl, it's going down the drain. It is going to go down the drain. And I can already tell the shows that she's going to get rid of. Oh, I can already tell right now. She's going to get rid of the show with Abby Phillip at 10 o'clock. She's going to get rid of the show with Laura Coates at 11. She's going to get rid of the show with Rahel Solomon at 5 a.m. She's going to get rid of the show with Audie Cornish at 6 a.m. And everyone that I just named are what? Black women. And then just to add a touch to it, she's going to get rid of Victor Blackwell on the weekends. Shout out to Victor, but she's going to get rid of him too. That's a gay black man. She's going to get rid of Omar Jimenez. Omar is Black American, and I think he's Afro-Colombian. Either way, she will get rid of your ass too. What else? Boris's fine ass, who needed to cut his hair off to look good and grow a beard, which thank God, finally, you needed that. That's what made you look good right after that. But she's going to get rid of your ass too. Just don't be surprised. Don't be surprised there's a lot of changes when it comes to the programming on CNN soon. Or what CNN needs to do is step away and become its own independent conglomerate. We're seeing that already with MSNBC, but now goes as MS Now. It's not even affiliated with NBC anymore. I won't be surprised if we see that with CNN, but we'll just see what happens. But the fact that Paramount, the Ellison brothers, are about to own a good chunk of media is making me think about there's a certain family in the music industry that owns a good chunk of music now too. So we're noticing that there are certain families about to own these things, but I can say the family that owns music currently, a good chunk of the music industry, I could say the music is still good and you can still see there's that differentiation, but we're noticing a shift of like artists starting to become more independent. So don't be surprised when we see more independent like news outlets starting to get more come-ups, or even when it comes to personalities in general. So we'll see what happens. And I just want to bring this up too. This is going to affect the economy as well, because we're going to see a lot of loss in jobs when it comes to just media, or just in general, even when it comes to these buildings, or even when it comes to the infrastructure for these media outlets. And I know JD Vance is saying that, oh, the war is just like gonna blip with the economy temporarily, but even with these business moves that y'all are making is messing with the economy as well too. But we'll see what happens. But if you work at Warner Brothers or even a Paramount affiliate, I really am wishing the best for you. And I'm worried about like outlets like BET, right? Yeah, BET might not be black owned anymore, but still there are black people that work at these places. Think about the people who worked on the programming or were like PAs, production assistants, or even producers for shows at BET Plus, right? Think about all that content that's about to go down the drain. Unless Tyler Perry makes his own streaming service. Honestly, he could. If you're telling me Lamel Plummer, aka Meat Meat from SpongeBob, why did I say Meat Meat from SpongeBob like that? Meat Meat from SpongeBob, who has very much weirdo energy, or the guy from Now That's TV has their own like app and TV channels. Tyler, you can make your own. You are a billionaire. You can do your own thing. Go partner up with these other black billionaires. Go make a network, please. And I just want to add in, we're also noticing that like a lot of like legacy shows or just like daytime syndicated TV shows are being canceled, right? The Steve Wilkos show, even Karamo, Access Hollywood got canceled. Like, what is going to happen? Are we going to go digital? What is the next phase for this? Because E News is not here. A lot of these channels are not like around anymore. Are we shifting? Because yeah, we can get our news regarding celebrities from what? The Shade Room. We can get it from Baller Alert. We can get it from our phones. Are we shifting to digital? Because I would just like to know that. And it's sad because some of us had dreams of being on Access Hollywood or even being on the E News, but it just goes to show you with time, the demand is just not there anymore. There's demand for something new, but we'll just have to see how they innovate it. But then it's also too is how I mentioned Access Hollywood got canceled. Hello, the Sherry Shepherd show got canceled. What else? What other show got canceled? I think Kelly Clarkson got canceled too. But Drew Barrymore still has a show, and Tamron Hall still has a show, and Jennifer Hudson. Honestly, the thing that's saving the Jennifer Hudson show for me personally is that damn freaking dance hallway walk. That's the only thing saving your show, because I've watched your show and I haven't been like, ooh, I want to watch this. Although I have done like PR initiatives for her show, but still not impressed. I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Okay, nice, gotcha. And you got vocals, but still. But it's interesting to see how a lot of these legacy shows are being taken down and what is going to happen. We're going to start shifting to more independent aspects. And honestly, not everybody needs a talk show. Not everybody needs a talk show. Not everybody needs a podcast. Some of y'all could just stay quiet. Stick to your regular day job. Some of y'all are not meant to be communicators. And that is totally fine. Because I've watched some of you guys do interviews, even to the point where I just finished watching that damn Cam Newton interview with Fredo Bang and how he asked Fredo Bang about his father being gay. And I was like, wow, when is your humbling moment coming like it did for Shannon Sharp, Cam? Because you really, no, you should not be doing interviews. I'm sorry. And I got tea on a situation with your staff, but I'll bring that up another time when I like a couple months after your show's done. Because I don't see that Cam Newton show lasting for too long. But yeah, that's what I got to say. The media is in a tizzy. We're still seeing a shift. I know I do have to talk about AI in the music industry, but we'll talk about that another time, you guys. So guys, I totally forgot to mention this, but I don't know if you guys are very much into the whole like bachelorette situation. Well, I guess they're canceling this new season of The Bachelorette because the young lady that was on The Secret of Mormon Wives, Taylor Frankie Paul, the one chick that got 2 baby daddies and like 3 kids, and she's Mormon, and they love to drink that freaking like cream soda and shit like that. But then they're from a religion that doesn't believe in black people. Yeah, her. Although she had black guys going on that season, which I was like, okay. When I saw the men, I was like, y'all are not getting picked, but y'all are just there for clout. Okay. That is crazy. Well, TMZ had just leaked videos from her domestic violence case, which she was actually the perpetrator. And watching the video, I watched it because I was like, you know what, I gotta report this. When I tell you guys, this happened in 2023. That means that ABC knew about this and they tried to put this under the rug and didn't realize this was gonna pop up in their face. But watching the video, you can see her jumping on him like literally, okay, you know what? Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. Because I don't know who might be a victim of DV and I don't want to trigger you. So please, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fast forward. Okay, now there's like a video of her with her former partner, one of her baby daddies. I don't know which one, just know they're both white men. Okay? Looking at her face, you can tell she's crazy. Even out those pictures, you can tell she's crazy. Not gonna lie, she kind of look like a troll doll. She gonna look like a troll doll with straight hair. I don't see it when it comes to looks wise, but hey, what can I say? I don't pick society's beauty standards, but she does look like a troll doll. But she is punching him, jumping, flipping out, and then it gets to the point where, you know, if you have like an island bar in your kitchen, right? And you have those bar chairs. Some people may have more of the luxurious ones with the cushioning and everything. She has the steel ones that you see at more of those industrial restaurants, right? She picks it up and starts tossing it at him in their living room, which obviously their living room and their kitchen connected to each other. Yeah. So she picks it up and starts tossing at them. And her kids, one of her kids, is literally on the couch right behind where their island is. So she starts tossing it, flipping out, trying to throw it at him. I'm just waiting for that shit to hit the TV, because I'm not gonna lie, for a second I was like, is that gonna hit the TV? Because I'd be pissed if that shit hit the TV too. And it gets to the point where she lifts the second bar stool chair and it hits the child to the point where he has to run and guard the child, and she's still tossing things, throwing things around. That's child endangerment. What? But I could see why they canceled the show. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, what's going to happen to the young men who decide to go on the show? If you went on there to get some clout, you quit your job, your 9 to 5, to go on ABC, to go basically kiss on this girl who looked like a troll doll, who, if you're a black man, she don't believe that, like, her religion don't even believe in your people. I don't know what to tell you. I hope you get some sort of money, but this is the decision that happens to it. Y'all need to do research before you go on these programs. I wish y'all researched who the young lady was when you guys were fighting for her love. This is a show that we're just not going to see. It might end up being leaked on, like, I don't know, on some like stream platform that has like shows that were just canceled and just never were put into fruition when it comes to like distribution. But still, justice for the victim and just justice in general for anybody who's been through a situation like that. That's all I gotta say. But honestly, for the young men who decide to like go on the show and go be with her, that's a saving grace. Because did they even have a winner yet? Because did the winner know that this is what was gonna pop off? And if she did have a winner and she ended up dating the winner, will the winner come out and say something as well too? That's another thing to think about. But a lot of things are being exposed. Remember, I had mentioned that we're going to hear more about like DV cases and just certain cases about people being victimized, or those that we usually don't see as the victim to be the victim, right? We're talking about a man who was basically assaulted by his wife or his baby mama, basically like that. Also, please excuse my voice. I do have a cold, so every single few minutes I have to like clear my throat. And yes, I do have my tea like the singers. I do have my tea filled with honey and lemon. But honestly, this weather change in New York, the fact that last week we had like 70-degree weather, and then this week it's so completely different. Yeah, I can't do this. I cannot do this. I'm going to be wearing a mask for the rest of the year because of this, because I don't have time to be getting sick. And I usually get sick like twice a year, and I don't have time for this. Since we did talk about DV, do I really want to talk about these 3 wealthy brothers that were found guilty in New York for sex trafficking that was linked to like party luring schemes? All I'm going to say is justice for those victims, justice for those young ladies. But it was just 3 brothers that basically lured women with their money and also with their lifestyle to put them within a trafficking ring. And then you know what happened after that. Still, justice to those women. A lot of people are like, how do their parents feel about it? Girl, we don't know. All I could say is that's crazy. I know if a parent, like, depending on the parents' morals, I know they would be terrified. 3 brothers? That means all your damn sons, bitch. All your damn sons are bad man. Oh my gosh. Lock them up. Lock them up. Lock them up. But like I said, we're going to hear more stories about situations like this happening when it comes to the affluent community. Yes, we're going to hear about it in different communities too, but we're hearing more about it, especially with those who are part of the 1%. Obviously, we know about the Epstein files. Regardless, glad that the victims got their justice and lock those 3 brothers up. Let's speed through the rest of these topics. Now, let's talk about a nutcase. We already know that this nutcase has severed ties with many people. Well, Nicki Minaj is now severing ties with her lawyers. Now she has to battle this $10 million lawsuit that she has. I have to do a little deep dive on this lawsuit. We know there was a lawsuit regarding like a security guards, which almost cost like the selling of one of her properties in Los Angeles. But I think this is also another situation. But I'll report back with the news when it comes on that. But that was just something that popped up. I'm like, wow. You already are losing a good chunk of your fan base. You're already being seen in the light of a different way. And then now lawyers don't want to work with you. That is crazy if a lawyer does not want to work with you. And some lawyers will take the case even if they know they're going to lose it just to get that check. So, Onika, I don't know what's going on in that noggin. I don't know. And then also she had reported that she is neurodivergent. Still, no. I don't care if you're saying you're neuro. I feel like I'm a little neuro too. But girl, I know there's some common sense in that noggin. What are you trying to do? Because a lot of people are trying to say that you're doing all this so then you can become a U.S. citizen or get your green card, which you have the Trump card. But is there any value in that? Is there any really value in that? Like, oh, Nika, what are you going to do when the administration is out of here? When we vote out red and bring back blue, are you going to go on an apology tour? Are you going to come out with an album apologizing to all the communities that you offended? Because I just want to know. Like, let me know. You might as well just do a farewell tour and go to Trinidad and do it like that. Make some soca music. I don't know. But right now, it's not making any sense. Now, let's move on to like Cardi B, Tasha K, since we are talking about rap music. So we all know that Tasha K owes Cardi B $4 million. Well, guess what? Tasha said she ain't got it. She filed for bankruptcy. It's been what? 10 years since she's been sued by Cardi? What, 9 years? Dang. So I started this show the same time Tasha K was getting sued by Cardi B? Oh my God. Wow. I'm pretty sure I probably talked about it in a couple episodes. Some old episodes too. But still, Tasha decides to do a few things. She says she already got the 1K, but she needs help from her fans for the 3 million. And guess what does Tasha do? She creates a GoFundMe account. Now, right then and there, I'm thinking to myself is, ma'am, you have an app. You have a team. You have businesses. I know your man got businesses. He's African. I know he has a business, some sort of hustle, something, some scheme. And you're telling me you do not have it. So you put your house in the market. And I think as of today, which obviously this episode's coming out on March 20th, and I've recorded this episode for like 2 days, your house has gotten sold. And this is not even your current home. This is an old home that you had as a property. So there's some funds over there. The GoFundMe, if you are a Tasha K fan, hey, you want to donate your money to her, do it. But I just wouldn't. I'm sorry. I would not do it because it's like, girl, you already knew the situations that went on for you being sued by Cardi B in the court case. And the fact that you picked this woman named Olga to be your freaking lawyer when Larry Reed had let you know, hey, I know some black lawyers that you can hire and they'll help you win the case. But you go and hire this white woman named Olga to be your lawyer. Yeah. That tells me enough. You could have gotten you a lawyer from New York. You probably would have won the case even better than that. But still, just give Cardi B her money. Give Cardi B her money. You already have a streaming platform. You already have a Patreon. Try to funnel those funds and just bring together and pay back your debt. Just do it right then and there and keep it moving. And like, let's move on to more important things, honestly, when it comes to just overall the drama, the tea sector. Honestly, I've gotten to the point where even when it comes to discussing like celebrity news, I'm like, it's wash, rinse, and repeat. It's wash, rinse, and repeat. Let's add some variety to the content because it's only so much where talking about celebrities can get boring, especially when you have a celebrity running the United States of America and they are literally saying that they're going to need $20 billion more to really, truly end the war. Like, girl, bye. But Tasha K, pay that woman her money. Pay that woman her money. A GoFundMe account. That's making me think of that one young lady from Modern Family who was talking about her family member that had cancer, and she made a GoFundMe account for them. And people were like, but you have all this money. Why are you not putting any funds towards their chemo or something like that? And I'm just like, you know what? Let me mind my business. I don't know people's relationships with their family members, but it's just very suspicious how y'all are giving these people who are full-blown multi-billionaires your hard-earned money from your 9-to-5s for them to pay back another millionaire when they were the ones causing rumors and also causing that said millionaire to lose certain opportunities due to those rumors. You know what I mean? Like, just make it make sense. One fact check, because I mentioned Trump for a second. I said 20 billion. Actually, on the headline, this man said he needs 200 billion more dollars to be in the best shape for the war to end. So, America, just know this is what you're funding. But let's get back into this celebrity sector and let's talk about Cardi B and the fact that she has a hair care line. And do I think the timing is accurate? I wish she came out with a line when she had shared the recipe, but there are people who have done the recipe and have said it's helped out so much with their hair. When I say I like how she made the price point an affordable price point. Now, if you grew up like myself using Dominican hair products, am I going to try this? Maybe in the future. Just like what I say with Sacred, in the future. Just like, I don't know about Fenty hair. I haven't heard reviews about Fenty hair. Sorry, Rihanna, I love you, but I don't hear that many reviews about Fenty hair. But I love me some Fenty makeup. But when it comes to overall the aspect, would I use Cardi B's hair products? I would, because you're talking to somebody who grew up on like Dominican hair products, and I've seen the magic that it's done. And I don't want to hear, well, they put relaxer. Hold on, baby. Hold on, sweetly, baby. Okay, primo, hermano. Let's not go delve that way. I'm talking about the girls who use the silicone, the garlic shampoo. I'm one of those girls, okay? That's what I use. But I feel like for me, when it comes to like celebrity-based like products, specifically when it comes to hair, I need a couple testimonials. But I will say I give her props for her displaying her hair growth, because we have seen Cardi's hair growth journey, but then also her wearing the hair mask with the freaking plastic bag, which a lot of us have done, right? Where you'll put on the plastic bag or you'll put on like a shower cap, just to a disposable shower cap, by the way, a disposable shower cap when you're doing your deep condition, or even when you're at the freaking Dominican salons and then you're getting a wash and set. So it's giving that wash and set Dominican blowout vibe, which, hey, that fits with the theme and she knows her market audience. I can't wait to see what happens when it comes to this overall branding. I think this is a better lane than the whip shots. As you guys know, I did do some of the PR for whip shots. Whip shots is fucking nasty. I'm sorry. It is fucking nasty. I don't like it. I got a couple bottles in my house. If you want it, just send me your address and I'll ship it to you. Please, I don't want no more. I have a whole case. It's just sitting there. But congratulations to Cardi B. Now, we got two more topics. Let's talk about the Oscars, and then I gotta roast some of y'all paying $8,000 for trying to get a man. Yeah. Okay. Well, the Oscars always comes with twists and turns and surprises. The Academy never ceases to amaze me. I was happy with the fact that Ryan Coogler won for Best Screenplay Writing. Happy with majority of the cast of Sinners for winning. I'm still mad at what y'all did to One Me. I'm happy Michael B. Jordan won his award, because honestly, if you guys had let Timothée Chalamet, that little French boy from New York that was talking about ballerinas and ballet and the opera, I would have been pissed off if y'all let Kylie Jenner's boyfriend win. Yep, I would have been pissed off, because really, did anybody go and watch Marty Supreme? The thing about Marty Supreme is Marty Supreme had so much marketing and advertising, and to the point where they solely relied on Timothy to being the face of it, and especially with the clout that he has and all that, it really didn't really measure up to the metrics of like a Sinners, obviously, because who wants to watch a movie about a ping pong player in New York? I get it's that come up story, or watch a movie like Sinners. I'm picking Sinners before I even watch Marty Supreme. I probably won't watch Marty Supreme until it's like 2030 and it's on HBO. That's if HBO's still around, since we know the Paramount brothers, the Ellison brothers, bought out Warner Brothers, right? Yeah. But happy with that. Now, this is where I get annoyed. For you guys to pick a film for Best Picture, which is a film that features Leonardo DiCaprio, Tiana Taylor, but this film basically covers of a white man who has a child with a black woman and wants to join a cult similar to a specific political party we see today, right? And the thing he has to do is unalive his biracial child and then the mother of the child is being harassed. But then he engages with sexual activity with that said black woman and then harasses her and tries to get them both unalived. It is giving me Monsters Ball 2.0. And I'm like, you know what? I love you, Tiana, but I'm happy you didn't win that Oscar, because I would have been very disappointed that was what got you the Oscar. That was the role right there. Yes, that was so impactful. And it's the fact that the director is actually married to Maya Rudolph, who is a biracial black woman, who is the daughter of the iconic Minnie Riperton. And I was like, I see something about this story. I don't know. Even when he was referring certain things about his wife, I'm like, okay, Maya. I love when you try to play Beyonce on SNL, but I'm looking at you sideways, girl. Looking at you little sideways. But yeah, guys, the Oscars never cease to amaze me, never cease to do it. Happy that the K-pop demon folks, they won their little thing too, because the kids love that fucking shit too. But either way, there's certain awards, it was like, no, this should have went to Sinners. But they were like, oh, we're going to make sure that the black people are happy with some things. But like the really, really, really big awards, yeah, we're going to let this guy win. This white guy win. He's still tied to a black person somehow, some way. But yeah, we're going to do it like this to still show we're being progressive, but just a little pinch of it. Not too much. Ha 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 ha. But yeah, you guys, we'll see what happens next year. But also, can y'all leave Lori Harvey alone? Let's leave Lori Harvey alone, okay? Michael B. Jordan winning this Oscar has nothing to do with Lori Harvey, and Lori Harvey has nothing to do with Michael B. Jordan. Let her live her life. She made her choice. They made their choice. They both moved on. Let's move on from it, okay? She's with Damson. Michael B. Jordan, I don't know what the fuck he doing with his dating life. I don't care. You see, I want to say forever bachelor. He's just a bachelor. Let Lori have her fun. She's still young, and let her live her fucking life, okay? So let's move on. Okay, now, since we are talking about dating, let's go on to the last topic of the episode. And one of you lovely Wista Gang members had sent me a voicemail. Yes, you can actually send me a voicemail. So I will give that number out in like a couple seconds. Hold on. So the phone number is 929-379-5772. I'm going to repeat myself. The phone number is 929-379-5772, and you could hit up the Wista hotline and spill the tea, maybe spill some beans. But hey, just know, if I think you have a distinct voice, I'll report it myself. Yeah, well, this member does have a distinct voice, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to put your business out there, so I'm gonna basically spill the tea what was in the voicemail, and we're gonna get to the point now. So this person was telling me that they have a friend who is very much male-centered. She wants a man. She's hitting 30s. And she's like, oh my gosh, the biological clock is ticking. I need to find a man ASAP. But he needs to be a protector, a provider, this type of man, top tier, right? This person had let me know that this young lady has spoken ill about a friend that they had from high school. She was letting me know that I guess there was a girls' trip and she had to share a room with that young lady. And I guess she said that after that young lady used the bathroom, the body odors, specifically in the genitalia area, was smelling a little fishy. It was smelling like poisson. It was smelling like poisson cru. If you don't know what poisson means, that means fish in Creole and French, right? She was talking about her, and I guess at that time she had recommended that friend to go see a gyno. Okay, well, fast forward now, we find out that she let me know that that young lady she was talking about actually got married, got a husband, and has a kid now. And that young lady's still single because I guess she was talking so much about this girl's body odor. Well, somebody loved the body odor so much that they decided to wife it up and put a baby in it, right? She actually got married first and then had a kid. So just point that out there. Now, this young lady is so male-centered to the point where she will go out with her friends and will compare herself to seeing how many guys actually approach them. And I guess she gets mad that at a certain event that this was the gang member was getting approached by more men than her. And I just want to say this, just because you get approached by tons of men does not mean you're getting approached by quality men. I just want to say that. Now, I guess that young lady was mad, and I had to let that Wista gang member know, if she's getting mad with the fact that you are getting approached more than her, it's either she's looking at you and like, what do you have that I don't? Or she probably thinks that she either looks better than you or something, to the point where she's like, why are they not talking to me but they're talking to her? Right? That's the mindset right then and there. But then it comes to find out that that said young lady had paid one of your favorite dating gurus $8,000 for 36 pages of some loose leaf paper about how to get a man. And this young lady has been doing this program for a year, and guess what she does not have? A man. A man. Even in the aspect of having to go on dating sites, even the aspects of going out to mixers and everything, she still does not have a man or even somebody viable. And even when it comes to the aspect of strict rules, and the young lady who is a Wista gang member was letting me know that, yeah, she's a little too strict, to the point where it's like she's very much rigid. And I had to let that member know is that sometimes you just gotta let people do what they gotta do, right? You gotta let people do what they gotta do. When it comes to the aspect of dating or relationships, yes, I always tell people, go with the flow and see where people's actions are done and set your boundaries. But it's to the point where this young lady is so male identified that she had to take $8,000 from her personal savings to go pay this relationship guru. And all she's had is run up one-on-ones with this relationship guru, some online dating dates, and some failed relationships. So all I can say is, it's crazy how y'all are paying $8,000 for a piece of paper, 36 pages, a piece of paper. And the crazy thing is, this was the gang member actually sent me the paper. And I guess the young lady had filled out a few things. I kind of felt bad for her. I was like, you know what? I feel bad for you, because reading some of this, I felt so like bad for her. But then I was like, that's still like disrespectful what you said about that young lady and talking about her body odor. But she's married and got a husband and got a kid. Because if you're really at that point where you're like, oh, your biological clock is ticking, she already did what you're trying to do. And you were saying her kitty cat stink. So make it make sense, right? So I'm going to say is, when it comes to just in general, sometimes it's just not your time yet. Don't force the timing. Just let the alignment come together. But for you to pay $8,000, that money you racked up from clocking in and out of your big girl job at a big pharmaceutical company, that's crazy, honey. I'm sorry. That is crazy. You could have used that and put it towards like a Roth IRA and invest. You could have put that towards like an investment property. You could have put that towards a car. You could have put that towards something that didn't have to involve you getting a man. That's the easiest thing to get, is a man. I just want to say that. And for you to be jealous of that one Wista gang member for getting approached by more guys, that just goes to show me you a hating ass bitch. And I would not hang out with you. After that Wista gang member told me about you, I don't even like you. I don't. I would not want to hang out with you, because you a hater. You have a superiority complex, and that's what it simply is. But it's crazy. You have a superiority complex, but you paid $8,000 to a dating guru that still does not have testimonials regarding that. And you paid for the middle tier. And I heard the highest tier ranges up to like 15K. What is this person doing with the money that you guys offer? It's just sheets of paper that you could make on Canva. I could go do this. Maybe I should start my own dating services. What? Wonderful times with Wista. Yeah, I'm going to show you how to get a man. And I'm going to be charging way much higher than that. Especially, I'm dropping logic. Oh, you paid $8,000? You have to pay me 10. You have to pay me 10 for that middle range. And then we're going up to 20 for the high range. If y'all are dropping money like that, y'all are dropping money for a freaking relationship guru, and y'all dropping money for Tasha K's freaking GoFundMe. Let me go make a Patreon and spit some game for y'all now, because that's what it seems like I need to do, because that is freaking crazy. That is so crazy. And for you to talk shit about that young lady, and now she got a man and a whole ass kid. Wow. But I told that Wista gang member, yeah, don't hang out with that girl. Yeah, she's gonna throw you under the bus. This is why I tell you, y'all, pay attention to male identified women, because they're the ones who will gladly throw you under the bus. And guess what? You did all that and you still ain't get picked, bitch. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to Words with Wista. You can find this podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, YouTube. Yes, we're on YouTube. Well, we have some couple episodes loading on YouTube, but we're on there, so you can follow us on there too. You can follow me on Instagram at ItsWista, ItsWista. You can follow the podcast on Words with Wista on Instagram and then also on Substack. Yes, I will be getting back on my Substack stuff. We will be talking about like life after weight loss journeys and everything. We will be talking about like bridge years and all that jazz. Definitely gonna be talking about the whole weight loss situation. I feel like a lot of people are currently on a weight loss journey or they're processing the aspect of weight in society. So we will be talking about that as well. And what else I gotta say? Oh, yes. You see, I got a cold. So I'm like thinking, I know I got more stuff to say. If you have anything you want me to talk about on the podcast, send me a voicemail at 929-379-5772. You can send me a voicemail, 929-379-5772. Or you can send me an email. I'm not going to drop the email like that, but it should be obvious what you think the email is. It's a Gmail email. So just know with that. But you guys, I got to go. I will talk to you guys next episode. I'm pretty sure the next episode will be out either on Monday or Friday. Either way, we're back with consistency. I love you guys. And let's get on to the road to episode 225. Bye, you guys. Mwah.